This past college football season, we saw a stacked Miami Hurricane squad fall to the Indiana Hoosiers in the national championship. Miami was arguably the most talented team in the country, anchored by a pair of elite pass rushers in Ruben Bain and an Ottawa native making waves in Akheem Mesidor. Mesidor's journey began in the North Gloucester program, but to get on the NFL radar, he made a business decision. He moved to Florida to play high school football. After a dominant stint with West Virginia, where he was named freshman All Big 12 selection, he transferred to Miami, where he blossomed. This past season clearly being his best. He was a first-team All-SEC and a second-team All-American, and as of now, he is projected to be a first-round draft pick. For Mesidor, the message was clear. Canadian talent can compete with anyone, anywhere.
Well, growing up, the narrative was, Americans, they don't play with it. They'll eat your breakfast, just
Yeah.
up here. I finally got here, and it was just football is football at the end of the day.
But there's another Canadian athlete who took a completely different path. Taylor Elgersma didn't go to Florida. He stayed home in Waterloo. A 6'5" tower of a quarterback, Elgersma led the Wilfrid Laurier Golden Hawks on a historic tear. By his fourth year, he wasn't just a Canadian standout, he was a legitimate NFL prospect. His 24th season was a video game. Over 4,000 yards, 34 touchdowns, the Hec Crighton trophy, the equivalent of the Heisman in Canada, and a plethora of other awards. He dismantled the competition in the UTEC Bowl. He threw for a record-breaking 452 yards, 5 touchdowns to lead Laurier to their first Vanier Cup appearance or national championship game since 2005. The NFL could not ignore those numbers. Elgersma became the first Canadian university player in over 30 years to earn a Senior Bowl invite, standing toe-to-toe with names like Jackson Dart and Dylan Gabriel. His arm talent was undeniable. Even more, scouts who attended the event said he did not look out of place. Though he went undrafted in the 2025 NFL Draft, he was signed by the Green Bay Packers, pushing veteran Sean Clifford for a roster spot. He would ultimately get cut. And why, you may ask, was Elgersma just not good enough? That's false. I could say that he had more upside than Sean Clifford, but they just had more invested in Clifford. He was actually drafted in the 5th round. So you bring in a guy from Canada who they view as an inferior competition against their guy who played in the American system, played 4 downs. They'll argue that Elgersma only played a 3-down system, this, that, and the third. But that's just not the case. The NFL likes to call itself a meritocracy, but when it actually comes to competing and the incoming guy wins or shows promise and he's younger than the guy you guys already have in-house, you should go for the guy with more upside. That's the same thing they do in the NBA, one and done. They grab guys who are younger who can have more to prove or more to show for as they progress and mature in the league. NFL should be doing the same thing, though they choose to do otherwise. Clifford would ultimately get cut by the Packers, and as I mentioned, Elgersma was also cut. But with Malik Willis now with the Miami Dolphins, had they just kept Elgersma, who knows, he could have became a legitimate backup that they molded and actually grown to be a great NFL player, right? He's still young. But once again, not going to get into that tangent. The NFL always does this. When it comes to Canadian talent, they view it as a more inferior league, when I can argue that a lot of the guys that they have in their league came from Canada. But that is a conversation for another day. Today, Elgersma is a man with options. He was drafted by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in the 2nd round of the CFL draft, who see him as the heir apparent to future Hall of Famer Zach Collaros. He would also be drafted by the Birmingham Stallion of the UFL. But at just 23 years old, he is not ready to come home just yet. He's exhausting every NFL opportunity first, proving that whether you take the highway through Florida or the highway through Waterloo, Canadian talent is world class.